Hello there, people. I am sorry I have taken so long to do a video, but today I am reviewing the first Friday the 13th. We're going to be starting the Friday the 13th series. I know I said I'm going to review Silent Night, Deadly Night. We're still going to do that. It just won't be for Christmas anymore. It'll just be because I actually enjoy the movie, so I'll just review it as a movie. But we're gonna kick it off. I would argue the second film that almost kicked off the horror craze. This came out like literally 2 years after Halloween. I forgot who. I think it was the director who just said, "Yo, Halloween just came out. Let's rip it off," or something like that. That's the story of how this film came up. But I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't say though it's a rip off of Halloween though. I wouldn't. Like, I mean, the only similarity is got a killer with a knife. In fact, there's way more killing in this movie. This movie's more of a straight up movie where people are just dying compared to the first one. But, okay, side note, I'm gonna just mention this. I'm not reviewing Wonder Woman 84, or as I call it, Wishmaster 84. It's fucking trash. That's my review. That's the most you're gonna get. I'm not wasting my time on that shit. Anyway. So, this film, I remember watching this the first time, like, I think it was no, it was about the same time I first started really getting into Halloween. I had watched the Friday the 13th, so I just didn't know the names of them. And I remember what the poster looked like. That's the one other thing. The poster for this movie is amazing. Just the outline of a knife, and then you see the camp through it. It's kind of dope. But yeah, let's get the story started. So it starts off in 1958. We see a figure moving through a camp, and then it kills two camp counselors with a knife. You don't see who kills. Well, he kills the guy first. The guy and the girl were like having sex, and then kills the girl. Granted, I'm gonna say it's Miss Loomis. We know who it is. That's the other thing. This movie's been spoiled to shit forever. So Miss Loomis, I'm just gonna say who it is now. Pamela wants her vengeance for Jason's death, so in 1958 she kills two counselors, killing one by stabbing him, and then she's about to kill the girl, and the girl dies off screen. Then it starts off in, I'm assuming it's 1980 or 1979, where we meet. I think it's 1980. Okay, so we meet Anne. She's one of the counselors of Crystal Lake. But they're trying to, people of the town were trying to warn her, do not go there. And one driver decides to take her there. Well, take her halfway. We also meet Crazy Ralph, who's the crazy, local crazy guy telling everybody, you're doomed. I'm not going to lie, I like his parts. But, then we're introduced to the group, the main group of the film, including a young Kevin Bacon. Um, they're going to Camp Crystal Lake. They meet Steve Christie, who's reopening the camp. And then we also meet Alice, who's the main girl of the movie. I'm going to flat out say it. I think she's one of the worst protagonists in Friday the 13th history. She's a boring character. She just happens to be the final girl of this movie. Like, she's not, like compared to when we get to Friday Part 2 with, fuck, I forgot her fucking name. The main chick of the second movie. It for some reason just escaped my mind right now. It's gonna come back to me at some point. But, fucking, yeah, the main chick in this movie she's not awful, but she's just there. I feel like she just happens to be the final girl compared to the final girl we see in the second movie, who in my opinion is a far more compelling character. I actually put her in my favorite leads of horror movies. Um but so yeah, oh, it just hit me now. Sorry, I had to look it up. I'm fucking stupid. I can't believe I forgot it. She's in literally my favorite final girls list. Ginny. the girl Ginny from part 2 is a way better character. There's more to her characters, not a lot, because it's Friday the 13th. Obviously, it's about the kills, and that's why a lot of people love part 1, but it's not my favorite Friday the 13th. It's a decent movie and it's watchable, but it's not my favorite. Um, but yeah, so we're introduced to Alice. Then oh, Anne gets dropped off by the trucker who took her, I think, like halfway. Then she gets picked up by a truck, which just happens to be Pamela Voorhees. Um, Picks her up, seeming like it's about to drop her off, and then just keeps driving. Then she realizes, Anne is starting to realize, okay, something's up. So she jumps out the truck. Pamela stops the truck, chases her through the woods, and I think Anne like trips on something, and then basically Pamela comes and slices her throat. Some of the kills are pretty iconic, I would say. I would say like that one's pretty. It's not overly brutal, but it's especially compared to like the first Halloween, which the kills are not a lot, definitely. So she gets her throat cut, and then that's it. Um, Crazy Ralph. I think this is the point. Crazy Ralph ends up going to the camp because Alice, like I think, is going to the kitchen. They're getting ready to, I think it's set up dinner. Then Crazy Ralph is hiding in the kitchen, and he basically is warning the children that you're all doomed. And then I think the local sheriff comes by really quick, and then that's it. And there's a scene where they all, Alice I think gets freaked out by a snake, so they kill it, and then they go swimming in the lake for a little bit, and you could clearly see. I'm assuming it's Pamela, basically just watching them. So she arrives. Um, then Ned, it starts to rain. It's starting to be a storm. So Ned goes inside, and I think someone lures him inside. He's killed off screen. They don't show it. You see his body afterwards, and Jack and I'm assuming Jack, which is played by Kevin Bacon, and his girlfriend have sex. So they're having sex. So while the other group are in the other cabin, they're kind of just hanging out, playing games and stuff. So okay, so Jack and Marcy, that's the girl's name, are having sex, and this is where you see the quick shot of Ned just bloody. Um, so Marcy goes to the bathroom, and then I think yeah, she goes to the bathroom. There, Jack is about to light up a joint. Then he gets impaled by an arrow through a bed. Pretty cool kill, even though it's, I don't know how Pamela was able to do that. She's not fucking Michael Myers, but whatever. So that happens, and then uh so everyone else is just playing games, and then I think the other girl, I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names. Because a lot of these characters are like side characters. Oh, they're playing Strip Monopoly. That's what they're playing. So Brenda leaves to go outside. Okay, then we meet up with Marcy in the bathroom. This is a pretty cool kill. Um, so she's, getting herself ready, and then she starts hearing noise, and then she goes, I'm assuming to the stall, and axe just gets thrown at her face. It's pretty brutal, and even the shot of like the axe in the face was pretty good. So Pamela kills her. Then Brenda leaves to go outside, and because I think she hears like a little girl screaming, and this is where I'm assuming she's killed off screen. They don't show her. Um, so it's just Bill and Alice left. So they go. Oh, Steve Christie is out. He's on his way back to the camp, and then he gets dropped off back to the camp by the local sheriff. When he arrives there, you see Steve talking to somebody like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Like, what are you doing in all this mess? And then gets stabbed. So he was talking to Pamela. So we see Bill killed. Bill gets killed off screen by being impaled on I'm assuming like a door with arrows. So Alice is by herself and she starts seeing bodies pop up everywhere. And then she sees Pamela. This is where we see Pamela actually, like, in person. And she just looks like a nice, like, older lady. And you wouldn't think there's something up with her. And so then she goes in, and this is where the reveal happens. And I'm gonna admit, this is the best part of this whole movie. The way Pamela just is talking about it, like, she's slowly dropping it in about who she actually is. You know, this is when she was talking about, like, the camp shouldn't have been reopened. This is where my little boy drowned, and then she starts telling him the story of Jason, and then she slowly just starts going crazy, and then starts trying to kill her, and then you have this, like, chase. I'll admit, that scene was great. So Pamela tries to chase Alice. Alice is basically hiding throughout the camp. Pamela's trying to get her. There's one scene where Pamela tries to break in, like, a door. She does. I think Alice hits her with something. Then they run outside. They start fighting for the axe, and Alice gets it and then decapitates Mrs. Loomis. Mrs. Voorhees. Really cool scene. And then she's seen lying in a boat, and then we see young Jason grab her, but it turns out it was a dream. And then she's in, like, I'm assuming in, like, the hospital, where she's talking to the cops, and then, like, she was telling the cops about a little boy, and the cops were like, "What little boy?" And then she says he's still out there, and then it basically just kind of ends. Really, it's a good film. It's watchable. I don't think it's the best one. Definitely the first one. A lot of people, this is one franchise where I would say this first one isn't the best. A lot of people's eyes, the best Friday the 13th, either part 4, or for me it's 6, then it's part 4. But I really enjoy this movie for what it does set up, like, really good. Like the scene with Mrs. Voorhees just, like, telling her story, like, slowly, because you think she's just this nice older lady, and then just that reveal. And then Alice sucked as the main lead. I think that was the only thing. She just happened to be the final girl. I don't, like, the more I, like, watch this movie, that's what it gives me. Like, she's not terrible, but she just happens to be the final girl. She's not even, like, there's not a lot to her character. And I understand it's Friday the 13th, so I'm not as, like, oh, you need to have a great plot. Because Friday the 13th, let's be real, these are movies I go to watch just to see Jason fuck shit up. But, you know, I want some at least decent characters. I don't even think she's that. She just happened to be the final girl. We don't get a lot of character building with a lot of these other characters. They're just caricatures. Oh, Alice is somehow the final girl, while everyone else is just your typical, you know, horny teenager who wants to either just drink or do drugs. So, you get that. But I think it drags at some points. This is my only real negative. There are just some points in the movie where it just kind of meanders. That's why I didn't spend a lot of time talking about it, because there's not a lot to the movie, like, compared to, like, when you watch the first Halloween. So, but I enjoyed this film. It's definitely one I watch in my, like, when we started Friday the 13th marathon, I do start it with this one, just because it just is right. So. Yeah. Like, Friday the 13th, this one is it is an influential movie. Like, even if it's like not the best made film, it really does kick off that 80s slasher craze. I mean, Halloween did. This one did, because then after that you got Halloween 2 with Halloween 2 the next year. I mean, we got a Friday part 2, then we got some like other ones that weren't Halloween and stuff. So this movie does kind of kick off like that straight up 80s slasher craze. But yeah, guys, that was Friday the 13th. Tomorrow or later tonight, actually no, later tonight I'm gonna probably review JP3. So we're gonna get to the third one. Oh my god, when we get to that movie, I have a lot of thoughts on that one. But other than that, talk to you guys next time. I'll yeah. Alright guys. Peace.